Hi everyone, my name is Gerhard Linde from Tax Debt Compliance. I'm the director, and this morning we're just going to have a quick discussion with Blignaut from Atomic Accounting, and we are going to discuss the topic of income tax returns and why it's important for you to file, and the advantages of doing that through our system. This morning we just want to introduce Michelle. So good morning, Michelle. Just introduce yourself and just give us an overview of who you are and what you do, and then we can dive into the discussion this morning.
Awesome, Gerhard. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Yes, so as Gerhard mentioned, my name is Michelle Blignaut. I'm the owner of Atomic Accounting. And for the past 10 years, my team and I have assisted individuals and entrepreneurs in understanding their taxes and knowing their numbers better. So we're excited if we can help an individual or a business owner get their tax returns done and up to date.
Great, that sounds really good, and we are sure that we can assist many more with the income tax returns. This morning's topic, speaking about the income tax return. Michelle, when is the filing dates due? I know with the COVID viruses, things have changed a bit. It's not like we normally see it. And what will those dates be, and for which people do they need to file at what certain dates?
Perfect, great question, Gerhard. So there are 3 sets of dates people need to be aware of. So if you're an online income tax returner, your return dates will open on the 1st of September and will close on the 16th of November, which is a lot shorter period than what we normally get allocated to complete your tax return. If you're a manual if you're a manual tax returner and you need to go to the SARS offices for some reason, please don't do that. But if you do need to do that, you need to do this between the 1st of September and the 22nd of October. And then if you are a provisional tax returner, your dates will then be from the 1st of September to the 31st of January. So depending upon which category you fit in, those will be your dates.
Yeah, so normally we had the dates opening in July, now almost 2 months later. So it's a pity that people have to wait a little bit for the refunds, but that's the dates we have at the moment. So there's time for you to get your affairs in order to make sure that you're on time to file as soon as you can. Michelle, who is required to file? What is the requirements that they put on the filings?
You know, Gerhard, in my opinion, and this is purely my opinion, everybody should file. I know SARS tells you if you only earn one income and below this and it's below that and that, you don't need to file. But what happens is 5 years later, you want to do something, then suddenly SARS wants, you need to give your tax number or proof of your last tax submissions or something to that effect. And then you don't have that paperwork in order. Then somewhere along the line, someone's forgotten, oh, then you didn't need to, now you suddenly need to, oh, now there's penalties, now you've got to dispute it. So in my opinion, even if you don't have a complicated tax return, submit it and get it done. You'll feel better because you know it's done and you know your paperwork's in order. So that's my opinion on the matter.
I have to agree with you. I think it's really important for people to keep a good filing system. Also, it's really important these days if you wanna maybe buy a house or something and you need a tax clearance and you don't have a up-to-date filing system, even though you did not need to. Those returns help you by keeping up to date and a clean record, even though you don't always need to. For those people interested, if we look at the requirements for the submission, who needs to submit?
So definitely someone that earns more than one income. Definitely if you're on a higher income bracket, that would be a definite. Okay. But yes, as I mentioned, and as you said, Gerhard, to me, everyone should submit. You don't know when you're going to need that tax clearance and for what.
Yeah. I know last year they've had the requirement that if you earn less than 500,000 Rand, and like you said, have not more than one source of income, you don't need to submit a return. Don't have noticed that it's more than 500 this year, but I assume that's still the same. But that's there's a whole lot of requirements that people miss sometimes when they think, oh, I earn less than 500,000 a year, I don't have to submit. But there's other things like more sources of income that you have those other requirements that you haven't looked at, and you don't submit, and you sit as a non-compliant status at the end of the day. So yes, I agree. The point I want to touch on, there's something new that SARS is pursuing at the moment. With things like we've had notice that they'll be doing auto assessments from August. Can you shed some light on what it means and what this will be? I think it's a new thing that we haven't seen before. And what can we expect?
So, Gerhard, yes, as you mentioned, it's a new thing. We're not sure what to expect. SARS has surprised us. From August, SARS will automatically complete people's returns and will make it available on your platform, but then you will still need to approve it. So if you're happy with it, you can approve it and then it will be submitted. That's what we're thinking is going to happen, but a couple of different things have been discussed. So, for example, they're not going to know everything with regards to your return. They're not going to know what expenses you claim and can't claim, and they're not going to know your multiple incomes. And that's going to be important. So it's going to seem as if it's come across simplified for people in doing it automatically, but most individuals don't even know what to look out for. You don't know if you look at your own return if it's correct or not. And that's where a specialist needs to come into play to assist you with that, to get you the best benefit and make sure your return is submitted 100%. So I would advise still make use of a tax practitioner and an accountant to take a look at your return and let them approve it, ask you some questions to ensure that everything's in order. Because once it's submitted, it's tougher to then object and then go and try and change information afterwards.
Yeah, it takes time to object and it takes time to correct. And it also costs money if you have to employ someone just to do it, where you could just have maybe paid someone to do your return. And then in most circumstances, like we said, if you're just a normal employee, there's a good chance for you to receive a refund. What this new system might do is that they'll send you an SMS to the like and say, are you happy with your return? And you'll be assessed, and that, like you said, it would not take into account any refunds. And that will be your position that you're assessed on, because that assessment will just be maybe taken into account the normal pay you earn has been deducted from your employer during the year, and that should more or less balance out with the taxes that you owe if it's calculated correctly on the one salary. If it's more than one salary, chances are good that you've not been paying enough tax, but that is a discussion for another day. So I agree. I think people need to be wary that if you don't want to hassle to file a return and you don't think you'll have any refunds, to just accept the assessment. But like we all suggest, I think filing it is really important. If we just quickly touch on the refunds, I just want to when in your mind is it most likely that you will receive a refund? If there's certain things that you have that might even if it's not a lot, that can give you a little bit of a refund that people might not even know, like if you've got your medical aid, for example.
100%, Gerhard. So definitely if you're on a medical aid, you've got a huge possibility for refunds. There is a lot of aspects that come into play. So don't assume because you're on a medical aid, you'll get a refund, but there is definitely opportunity for it. Definitely if you've got a travel allowance and you've kept a travel logbook, then there's another room for refund. If you've got a retirement annuity, there's room for refund. So those are the three main items that would possibly give you a refund.
Okay. In most circumstances, you'll receive most of those certificates. It's easy to acquire. So at the end of the day, it's not a hectic process just to complete your return. You just need a couple of information that gets sent to the practitioner like yourself, and then it gets filed, and you'll have your assessment within the next few minutes. And hopefully if there's a refund within 1 to 10 days, just depending on when and how you file. So yeah, we all agree that it's important to file. If you want to make use of our services, we are looking forward to maybe assisting you getting some sort of refund or just getting your taxes up to date and compliant. We want to say thank you, Michelle, for taking the time speaking to us on the subject. And if you want to say something in closing, Michelle, for maybe leave us with a little bit of a nugget for those who are still in between.
Sure, Gerhard, thank you. Yes, what I'd also like to mention is please remember, when there's a refund, there's normally an audit. So that's when you need your tax practitioner to assist you in handling the audit. We're not scared of them. We're not intimidated by them. We get your refund. So just be cautious of that as well. And that's why you use a specialist. I always say to people, you don't go to a dentist for glasses. They might both be doctors, but they can't serve you. So focus on yourself. Get your taxes up to date and keep them up to date.
Right. So I hope you all have a better understanding of what it means to file your return and maybe get time to get your things in order so that you can be ready to file come 1 September. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for your time, and we see you all next time.